Welcome everyone to a new episode of Don't Be a Loser. We will go over 5 relationship-related comments. Remember that a loser is simply someone who gives up on love and lives miserable forever. Let us begin, shall we? Alright, first comment. I've been single for 5 years and I'm ready to start dating. But I'm scared because I'm a single mother and it's hard out there. Okay? Well, it doesn't have to be so hard. It seems like you had plenty of years to think it over. Alright, so you're single for 5 years. Not sure exactly why you're single for 5 years. But ready to start dating. Well, I know what you mean by dating, but I'm against dating. Just get to know people of the opposite sex. If there's somebody you're interested in, befriend them. Get to be friends first. I always promote friendship over dating because dating is just rushing into things and most likely you're going to fail. It's all going to fail. So, scared because you're a single mother. No, there are guys out there, believe it or not, despite what the majority will indeed say, they don't mind a single mother. If you're a fantastic woman, that's your main challenge. You can't treat your new partner the way, your failed relationship went, your previous partner. It doesn't matter if it's a divorce or breakup. You can't bring emotional baggage. That's my most important tip. You have to start on a clean slate. It's so important. You got to be fair to your new... You see, if you're single and it's hard out there, you might not be trying in the right way. Not hard enough. That's not the point. There is no such thing as try harder. Either you find somebody or you don't. And it doesn't matter exactly where you find them. Although I highly discourage going to clubs and parties because those are just single people mainly just trying to have a good time with nothing serious. So it looks like you're looking for something serious. And just realize also that the new person that you potentially meet, they're not going to be obligated to be the father of your child. That's a lot of weight that a lot of men do not want. And for very obvious reasons. And there's too much to explain there. So yes, it is difficult, but there are guys who won't mind you being a mother. Really. They won't. As long as you're everything that they're looking for, you'll be good to go. So how do I rate this comment? Well, it's a fair comment. Yeah, sure. It is difficult for a single mother. Not so much a single father, but they also have to be careful with who they pursue out there. You have to be more careful because there's a reason why you're a single mother, I imagine. Unless maybe your spouse passed away or boyfriend died, I understand, but unless we don't have that information. But if that was the case, well, just know that whether it's the case or not, there's always somebody, like I said, they don't mind that much. I know it's difficult, but that's good. You can use your current status, your situation, as a filtering mechanism. Because you'd have to meet somebody very serious about you in order to accept the fact that you're a single mother. Look at it that way. Look at it as something good because you're filtering through all of the garbage men who will have a problem with that. Now, there's no reason why we should hate on those who have a problem with it, but there's guys who have a problem with it because they don't feel comfortable, and there's guys who have a problem because they think that you're too old. You have too much baggage, even if it's one kid. They don't want the potential drama, even though you're not going to bring drama. I hope not. That's what I said, emotional baggage. So there's a lot to unpack here, speaking of baggage. But it is a fair comment because it is difficult, but just know it's not impossible. Let's go ahead and move on to the next comment, shall we? Way too much to talk about there. Easily an hour stream. Okay. If he can't help you financially, don't date him. Wow. If he needs, capital needs, you to go 50-50, he should go find a roommate instead of a partner. Period. All right. Let's go ahead and just slap a loser sticker right here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, look at what she said. Don't date him if he can't help you financially. Really? So it's all about the finances. What about the side of love? You know, the part that's supposed to matter most? Is it always, I mean, you know, okay, granted, you have the right to pursue a guy who can take care of himself financially, or a more wealthy person. That's usually what guys these days think that women are after anyways. They're after their wallets, you know, the pocketbooks, their bank accounts. That could be the case. There will always be a lot of gold diggers out there. And there will always be a lot of loser guys who just want to use you, abuse you, and then lose you on purpose. Ghost you. So there's always going to be garbage out there on both sides. But if you really need somebody, you can't even do 50-50. See, that's fair enough. What's wrong with 50-50? And why do you say period? So with an attitude like that, no, I'm sorry. No guy's going to be, even if you find a rich person, a rich guy, there's going to be something else wrong with you. You're too fixated on the financial part, on money. Why? You probably got burned so bad by somebody who probably lost his job. I don't know. It could be a dozen different reasons why you're acting this way. But for that period at the end and capital needs, 50-50, he should go find a roommate instead of a partner. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you're looking for a serious relationship, this type of attitude is not going to work. With the whole money up front, this type of filter right here, I can't even wish you good luck trying to find somebody, because the rich guys who do have money and they don't have money problems, they're just probably going to just maybe use you for a while. I mean, they have money, right? I mean, if you connect with somebody who has the same mentality as you do, because a nice guy, even if he's wealthy, is not going to want to be with somebody like you. There's going to be obvious signs that all you're concerned with is the money issue first and foremost. And then they're going to be like, well, why is she putting so much emphasis on how much I earn? I want to get to know you. You want to get to know how much money I have in the bank. My goodness. But if that's what floats your boat, good luck with that. But I really don't want to wish you good luck, because you have a lot of maturing to do. Love has nothing to do with money. Is it important? Yes, it is important. But is it that important to say not even 50-50, period? What kind of loser mentality is that? That's mighty fair if you ask me, 50-50 or close to it. Everybody comes from all different types of financial situations, especially today, nowadays. So there's no maturity in this comment. It really goes into the garbage bin. Let's go ahead and move on to the next comment, shall we? Unbelievable, honestly. All right, quite a big one to digest here. I'm dating a man for almost a year. That's a lot of dating, but hey, good for you for taking it slow. But it also concerns me. The dating, really? He is very independent. Oh, okay, well, that's why. And insists he doesn't need... Oh, great. Why is everybody using this word nowadays? He doesn't need a woman he can cook and clean. Okay, but that's not why you're supposed to look for a woman to do your cooking and cleaning, but whatever. He has asked me several times not to fall in love with him. That's a huge Chinese-sized red flag right there. Why is he asking you, especially after a year, not to fall in love with him? So he just wants to mess around with you and have a meaningless relationship? Friends with benefits? You know? Sex buddies? What is that? And why are you still with that type of guy? Sounds like you just want to have one-night stands, right? Let's see what she says. I've done a good job not getting attached, keeping my guard up to a degree, whatever that means. The chemistry is awesome. That doesn't sound awesome. We spend time with our families, friends. That doesn't matter. The other day, he told me that he loved me, like stopped what he was doing, looked me in the eye, and said it. Okay, are things going to change now? I responded with, "Aw, like I'm flattered, but I couldn't return the favor, I suppose she said. Well, then who really is? So it looks like you got used to being passive about potentially falling in love with him because he told you to. And then at the very end, he's probably having a change of heart and actually falling in love with you, because that's what happens with these pretend scenarios like friends with benefits. It always happens. Either unwanted pregnancy or, oh my goodness, I'm starting to fall for you. So we have to either break up and go with other friends with benefits because we have to act like we don't mean anything to each other than friends with benefits. Well, newsflash, it never works out. You can do all the pretending you want. Hey, don't fall in love with me. I can do my own cooking and cleaning. Red flags everywhere. What's with the facade? Why all the acting? To me, this translates to immaturity galore. So, is this a fair situation? Or is this a loser situation? She already responded with, "Aw, like I'm flattered, but I couldn't return." Okay. Well, she's not asking a question as far as what she should do, so I'm just going to slap this with, do not play this game. This is a loser's game. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Don't play games like this. Dating a guy for a whole year. Okay, so you're just messing around, right? I mean, have you guys become good friends? And then you want to take it to the next level? What's with the don't fall in love with me? Why is he so apprehensive? So many questions here. In the end, I have to slap it with the loser because why are you playing games? And now things are starting to get serious and you don't know how to respond. See, you just ruined, and he also ruined, what could have been the most beautiful memory ever. When you guys started the process of falling in love with each other. Ruined for replacing this ridiculous acting facade instead of just allowing nature to take its course. But whatever. Wish the best for you. Hopefully you're serious and he's serious now and you guys can stop acting. But without further information, that's all I can do. Why are guys in this generation so afraid of committing into a relationship? Just a dating tip for guys out there. If you're on a dating app, maybe don't lead a woman on thinking you want them one day and then ghost them the next. Seriously. It's getting old and really annoying. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be on dating apps. I don't approve of them. Those are for desperate people who want to rush in. Only fools rush in. Right? Those are fools rush into love. Well, let me tell you, it's not going to end up like love. It's nothing even close to, remotely close to love. Dating is just trying to fast forward the process of getting to know somebody. And on the apps, online, offline, it doesn't matter. The dating concept is, if you want to do 200 miles per hour on a street and see if you crash, I mean, that's up to you. But I don't advise it unless you're a professional racer. But even they get tired of racing, right? So the idea is to slow down, to stop with the whole, I got to find somebody, so let me go on the apps. And now you're tired of the way people behave on dating apps? Really? The men? You're judging men based off of dating apps. That's horrific. Because the guys on dating apps are just as desperate as you are. And it's really annoying. It shouldn't annoy you. And of course they're going to ghost you. They're not going to ghost you in person, but you'd be surprised. Even in person, they will ghost you. But you can't count online ghosting. No, they're just not interested. You're playing games, right? And it says right here, so afraid of committing. You think a person meeting online is going to want to commit with you offline? To take things offline? It doesn't matter how much mingling you do online, you're going to have to meet offline. And if you guys are states apart, countries apart, continents apart, it's a huge red flag problem. You're already starting out with a long distance relationship and you think you know this person online until you actually meet them offline, and then you really try to get to know them and go visit where they live. And if your job's in the way, if you have baggage with your kids from previous a previous parent and situation, family, marriages, and your exes, and it's just a huge melting pot of chaos Meet people offline only. Leave the online stuff alone. There's places in this world where technology just doesn't work. Is it fun to mess around with? I imagine for people who want to waste their time. Are there potential successful relationships that started online? Sure. Sure. But that percentage is so minuscule. It's so low. And these dating apps are going to lie about it because they want you to continue using them. They're playing with your hope. They're playing with your feelings. They're pulling at your heartstrings. So I'm going to go ahead and say this right here, wondering why guys are so afraid of committing into a relationship, you have a lot of maturing to do. So no, this is another loser's comment. She's just losing in life. She's not winning because she's messing around with dating apps. You got to grow up. No, I mean, what's seriously getting old is you hitting the repeat button, right? Because what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. Well, unless you're actually improving yourself, you're going to get the same result. So enough of that comment. Absolutely horrible. It's a lack of maturity with that one. All right, last comment of the show. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start bringing a damn tape measure to all first dates. Wow. I wonder what she's going to measure. Second, if you say you're 5'10" and show up only 5'7", what else should I expect you to lie to me about? Okay. Nah, dude. You make a non-issue into a trust issue all because you're that uncomfy with yourself. Pass. Uncomfortable with one's height? That's kind of a white lie there. I mean, if a woman lies about her cup size, I mean, if a guy meets her offline, you know, this is all offline, obviously, and says, what? Oh, I should bring a measuring tape to see how big your cup size really is. You think that's appropriate? You think that's nice? You think that's mature? Because essentially that's what you're doing. You might as well measure him downstairs too and claim what he says is true. I mean, a lot of guys would exaggerate on purpose for obvious reasons, but your height is also another possible exaggeration. You know, I myself, barely 6 foot. Am I going to say I'm 6'1", 6'2"? No, my ego is non-existent. I'm good. I don't need to lie about my height. But I can forgive a guy who does lie about his height. Who cares? And why would you bring a measuring tape in the first place? Look how popular Tom Cruise is, and look how short he is. There's plenty of short people who are, you know, famous or unfamous. They're not famous. But your height shouldn't be everything. It's similar to that other loser's quote where she's complaining about, you know, 50-50. And you should be financially secure. Okay, but you didn't state it that way, right? You also stated it like this loser here. You're going to actually bring a tape measure with you. Unbelievable. The level of immaturity. So men out there, stay far away from a woman who demands you to be honest about your height. You know, and this sounds like somebody else who's also playing online or texting. And this is what you get. So what do you mean, nah, dude, pass? No, everybody should pass up on you. Because you say it's a trust issue. It's a white lie. Who cares? Who cares? This shouldn't even be, I mean, they say that a man has to be 6 foot tall, have a 6-figure income, and then, have a 6-pack abs. The 666, right? No, because a real woman, she would see you for who you really are, get to know you, your personality. No, it's not only in Disney movies. That's actually what a really great woman is. And also a man. You know, men, the mature men, tend to look for your personality above everything. Do you fill in the check marks, right? The check blocks. Can they check you off like, okay, this is my dream woman right here? Because she says she doesn't have a problem doing this. She wants to try that. She's adventurous. She's curious. She's erotic in every way. She's my fantasy woman. If you can't say yes to that, then it's not going to work. How about that? And don't get married and find out the hard way and get divorced later, or end up in a mediocre, miserable relationship wishing you would have divorced a long time ago because now your life is running out. Regret. Regret galore. So that's what this person's going to have. You can bring your measuring tape everywhere with you. Good luck measuring every man in the world, which is impossible. But if that's all you care about, let's say you find that guy who's above 6 foot or above 5'10". Okay. So what else are you going to try to, put him through the meat grinder with the trust test? You're going to give him, a polygraph test and ask him a whole bunch of questions? No man is interested in that. So how about we pass on you? What a loser. Garbage. Absolute garbage. It's amazing what's out there these days, But regardless, if you have a comment that you would like for me to go over on this show, put it down in the comment section below. And this has been Coach Ben's Don't Be a Loser. Much love, everybody.